The economic vitality of the county and its residents depends upon water. However, the county doesn't manage a water system. As a county supervisor, what would you say to a business interested in investing in your supervisorial district that is concerned about the long-term future of its water supply and asks you, what are you going to do about it?
Well, there's four things that come to mind, particularly in the Tahoe Valley. We are in a severe drought as far as farming is concerned, but we are not as bad as Soquel Creek Water District or the city of Santa Cruz yet. Next year we will be there. So the first thing that is happening is that we, in coordination with our farmers, are fallowing land. So we are not using the amount of water that we used even last year or the year before. Some farmers are fallowing 20% of their land, some 10%. That's an immediate reduction of water. Number two, and more medium solution, is the project that the city of Watsonville and the Pajaro Valley Water Management did a few years ago to treat water to the level that it can be used for farming. It's called purple pipe water. We produce 4,000 acre-feet of that water, and the farmers are using 1,000 acre-feet. And we have no storage for the other 3,000. So immediately we have to start creating storage for that 3,000 acre-feet of water so we can use it year-round. And as part of that, we use College Lake and a couple of other part-time off-season lakes as full-time water storage that we can either use and pump for treatment, or we can hold and use as it is. So that's number two. Number three is this idea to study desal as it relates to this farming desal project in Moss Landing. It would be about a 10-mile pipe if that ever gets developed, but I'm telling you that's probably 20 years down the road. We better start studying it now in conjunction with Pajaro Valley Chamber of Commerce, the Farm Bureau, and individual farming interests. The fourth thing has to do directly with the county, and that has to do with the wells. The county does not deliver any water. They're not in the water business, and I'm not recommending that we get in the water business and put yet another government entity over it. But they do have control of where wells are dug and the water that comes out of there, or the runoff and the pollution and the things that occur when lots of people dig wells. So we really have to take a look at the ordinances as they relate to those permits for those wells.
Thank you. Dan?
I think I'm going to have the situation here where we're not going to even get close to the nuclear option, because I don't see the need to go into a lot of detail here. When we're talking about water, and the question I believe you asked is, what are you going to do about it? I've got a very simple stance on this. I would actually tell people they need to work and contact and find out what's happening both with the Pajaro Valley Water Management Agency and the city of Watsonville. Those are the two biggest entities that have decision-making processes on the water in the Pajaro Valley. If you were to say, what are you going to do? I believe I do not have a role other than facilitating discussions, conversations, and bringing people to the table. I do not believe that the County Board of Supervisors needs to step into this arena. I believe there's already enough, too many heavy hitters between the Water Management Agency, the City of Watsonville, regional water agencies, the state water agencies, and nothing happens within any of these things without funding or grants or something like that coming from the state of California or the larger water agencies. Having the county step in and become another part of this just adds another layer of bureaucracy to the whole process. So as far as what am I going to do about it, I'm going to put you in touch with the right people. I'm going to facilitate people to work together to make things happen. That is why there is the fallowing going on. That is why you're looking at much more efficient use of water in the agricultural sector and even in the city of Watsonville. One of the things I'm really proud about the city of Watsonville is that they really push conservation, not by saying you must conserve, but by saying, let us help you conserve. Let us give you the tools you need to use less water. And I've been on tours on the farmland all around the Pajaro Valley, and the technology that's being used has substantially decreased the amount of water being used. So I think we need to stimulate those types of things. But as far as coming in and doing something to the farmers and the water agencies in the city of Watsonville, I don't believe is my role.
Thank you.
So there's really sort of there's two pieces to this question. The first piece is the water issue. And the water, and at the county, what you can play is that convening role, the facilitating role, and the best practices role. I've already started talking to some of the farmers on the North Coast. Farmers on the North Coast represent about 5% of the city's water district supply. By modeling some of the best practices that are being used in South County on the North Coast, we can free up significant water for this, and desperately needed water for the city's water district. The second piece, and then facilitating conversation. So the conversation to get Scotts Valley's treated water to Pasatiempo Golf Course and move that credit back into the city of Santa Cruz is a project that's going to require somebody who has relationships across all these different agencies and knows how to get things done. The second part of your question is really about when the business owner shows up, either a current business owner or a prospective business owner, and says, I want to invest, but I have this concern or this issue. The city of Santa Cruz, I started the tradition of having the mayor each week with department heads go around and talk to business owners and their employees and say, what does it take for you to stay here? What does it take for you to grow here? What does it take for you to relocate here? In having those conversations, we were able to change a lot of policies and give real insight to city staff on how to create those sorts of, to deal with those problems and reduce the barriers that were oftentimes relatively small, but made a really big difference to that business owner. The fact that I have 8 years of experience on the city council, the fact that I've been endorsed by the members of the city council, so I have a working relationship with them and department heads, will allow me to go out and address those problems proactively, to have those conversations and be able to get the business owner, again, sometimes it's information that they are happy to get and it's a problem solved. Sometimes they just need to know what the answer is. And in both cases, I'm able to have the relationships and the experience and be able to solve those problems on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you, Ryan. Todd?
Mr. Cooney was endorsed 10 plus months before the election, which froze everybody out that would have been a probable candidate, which left me waiting in the wings basically, which is why I'm here right now. I'm after leadership, not bureaucracy. Leadership to push change, to inspire and empower. I talked about water a while ago. I've got a page on my website about water. I'm willing to take positions on issues to get the dialogue going. Water transfers, of course. One of the reasons why Westside Santa Cruz desal went down was that water transfers became a 10-20 year process, right, turning on a valve, when there was already the opportunity that was waiting there for it to happen. As I said before, depleting aquifers calls for leadership. Now, not 5 years from now, but now. Let's inspire, let's empower, let's get this going. If we can pipe sewage, as we do now, from Aptos to the Near Lagoon treatment plant, we can certainly bring desalinated water from Moss Landing to where it's needed. Okay, so water, yeah. One other thing about water. Watsonville already has a small amount of reclaimed water being put back into the fields. This is the future of not only Santa Cruz County, but the future of responsible stewardship with the environment. You close off your pollution loops to the best of your ability. I'll toss off a number. It'll probably take us 50 years to close off our pollution loops to the degree that's technologically possible. We ought to get going on it now. So yeah, water is a big issue up here. And also conservation. I want to come back to UC Santa Cruz a little bit because the water argument is used against UC Santa Cruz modest growth. They want to grow by 15%. And I say it gets down to tree sacrifice versus human sacrifice. We're talking about a world-class university that's a stellar opportunity for our community. And 15% growth is a very small growth. They're going to do improved efficiencies. They're going to push the envelope of 21st century technology with water up on the hill. So we ought to welcome them. And yes, water will be a crucial issue for quite a bit of time. One last thing about desal. There's now a process called forward osmosis, which is where you pull water through rather than pushing it through with the reverse osmosis. There's also the possibility that graphene, which is a new material, may revolutionize the cost of desalinated water. Forward thinking, regional thinking, leadership is why someone wants to be a supervisor. If you want to be a bureaucrat, don't become a supervisor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.